Welcome. Today we delve into a topic often overlooked yet essential: humility. What comes to mind when you hear the word humility? Is it a sign of weakness, or perhaps an attribute of those who lack ambition? If that's the case, then it's time to rethink. Humility, in its true essence, is neither a sign of weakness nor a lack of ambition. It's a powerful virtue that fosters growth, builds authentic relationships, and paves the way for effective leadership. It's about recognizing our strengths and acknowledging our weaknesses. It's about accepting that we're not infallible, and that there's always room for improvement. In both personal and professional life, humility plays a pivotal role. It allows us to see ourselves objectively, to learn from our mistakes, and to appreciate the contributions of others. It keeps our egos in check, helping us make decisions that are not just beneficial for us, but for the greater good. Yet, humility is often misunderstood. It's frequently mistaken for self-deprecation or a lack of self-esteem. But that's far from the truth. Being humble doesn't mean putting ourselves down. It means having a realistic perception of ourselves, our abilities, and our place in the world. It's about being comfortable with who we are, without feeling the need to prove our worth to others. Moreover, humility is often underrated. In a world that glorifies self-promotion and individual achievement, humility may seem out of place. But it's precisely in this context that its power becomes evident. Humble individuals, teams, and organizations are more adaptable, more innovative, and ultimately, more successful. So let's embark on this journey of understanding humility. Let's unravel its true meaning, its benefits, and its impact on our lives. Let's explore how we can cultivate this virtue and use it as a tool for growth, leadership, and success. Despite its importance, humility remains one of the most underrated virtues. But together, we have the power to change that narrative. So, are you ready to delve deeper? Let's begin. Humility begins from within. It starts with self-awareness. Imagine standing in front of a mirror not to check your appearance but to reflect on your character. That mirror, friends, is self-awareness. It's the art of understanding your own thoughts, behaviors, and motivations. It's about acknowledging your strengths and accepting your weaknesses. In the grand tapestry of life, we each have our unique threads of strengths that make us shine. Perhaps you're an excellent communicator, a strategic thinker, or a creative problem solver. These are the strengths that propel you forward, that make you stand out. Recognizing these strengths is not about feeding your ego, but about acknowledging your capabilities and harnessing them effectively. However, self-awareness doesn't stop at recognizing your strengths. It also means confronting your weaknesses. We all have areas we need to work on, and that's perfectly okay. Maybe you struggle with time management, or perhaps public speaking isn't your strong suit. Acknowledging these weaknesses is not a sign of failure, but a testament to your honesty and courage. Let's take a moment to appreciate the great inventor Thomas Edison. He is known for his invention of the light bulb, but did you know he failed 1,000 times before he finally succeeded? Edison is a prime example of someone who displayed humility through self-awareness. He knew his strengths lay in his creativity and persistence, but he was also aware of his failures. Instead of letting them deter him, he embraced them as stepping stones on his path to success. The power of self-awareness goes hand in hand with humility. It allows us to keep our egos in check, to remain grounded in our strengths, and open to improving our weaknesses. It's about understanding that we are all works in progress, and that's what makes us human. So, as we journey through life, let's strive to be like Edison. Let's be honest about our strengths and weaknesses, and let's use that self-awareness to fuel our growth and development. Because at the end of the day, humility isn't about thinking less of yourself. It's about understanding and accepting yourself, just as you are. Self-awareness paves the way for humility, allowing us to recognize our strengths and accept our weaknesses. Humility is the foundation of authentic relationships. It's a simple statement, but one that carries a world of meaning. Genuine connections, those bonds that enrich our lives and fuel our growth, are rooted in humility. It's the cornerstone that allows us to see others not as competitors or threats, but as fellow travelers on this journey we call life. Humility paves the way for authentic relationships by fostering a spirit of genuine respect and mutual understanding. It's the key that unlocks our ability to truly connect with others, to empathize with their experiences, and to learn from their perspectives. And these connections aren't just meaningful on a personal level, they're critical for professional success as well. Consider the most successful teams and partnerships. They're not built on ego or one-upmanship. They're built on mutual respect, shared goals, and a willingness to learn from each other. And at the heart of it all is humility. It's what allows us to set aside our own needs and desires in service of a larger purpose. It's what encourages us to listen, to understand, and to grow together. So how can we cultivate humility in our interpersonal interactions? It starts with self-awareness, with acknowledging our strengths and weaknesses, and understanding that we all have something valuable to contribute. It's about recognizing that we're all works in progress, continually learning and growing. Next, it's about practicing active listening, truly hearing what others have to say instead of just waiting for our turn to speak. It's about asking questions, seeking to understand, and showing genuine interest in others' experiences and perspectives. And finally, it's about expressing gratitude, not just for what others do for us, but for who they are as individuals. It's about appreciating the unique qualities and experiences that they bring to the table, and acknowledging the value they add to our lives. By embracing these practices, we can cultivate humility in our interactions and foster genuine connections. These connections, in turn, can enrich our lives and fuel our growth, both personally and professionally. By embracing humility, we can build deeper, more genuine connections. This isn't just a theory or a nice idea. It's a practical, actionable approach to building meaningful relationships that can transform our lives and our world. So let's embrace humility and see the genuine connections it can foster. Humility gives us the courage to acknowledge and learn from our mistakes. This is a powerful truth that many of the world's most successful individuals have embraced. It's a key ingredient in the recipe for personal and professional growth. Consider Thomas Edison, the famed inventor of the light bulb. He was no stranger to failure, with 1,000 unsuccessful attempts before his invention finally lit up the world. Yet he saw each failure not as a setback, but as a step forward. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His humility allowed him to accept his mistakes, learn from them, and keep going until he succeeded. Or take J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. She was rejected by 12 publishers before one finally said yes. It would have been easy for her to get discouraged and give up, but she didn't. Her humility enabled her to accept these rejections, learn from them, and persevere until her story found its way into the hearts of millions. What these stories tell us is that failure is not the enemy. It's an opportunity for growth, a chance to learn, to improve, and to become better. But to tap into this opportunity, we need humility. Humility helps us to see our mistakes not as a reflection of our worth, but as a reflection of our journey. It helps us to understand that every step we take, every mistake we make, is a part of the process of becoming who we aspire to be. This brings us to the concept of a growth mindset, a belief that our abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. With humility, we can foster this mindset because humility teaches us that it's okay to be a work in progress. It's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to make mistakes, as long as we learn from them and grow. Through humility, we can turn our mistakes into stepping stones for growth. Remember, it's not about never making mistakes, but about never making the same mistake twice. So, let's embrace humility. Let's learn from our mistakes, and let's keep growing. Humility opens the door to constructive criticism and growth. Let's delve into how humility plays a pivotal role in accepting feedback, a crucial element of both personal and professional development. Imagine you've just finished a project or a presentation, feeling satisfied with your work. Then someone comes up to you and starts pointing out areas of improvement. How would you react? It's natural to feel defensive or even offended. However, it's in these very moments that humility becomes our most powerful ally. Humility allows us to take a step back, listen, and evaluate the feedback we receive. It helps us understand that criticism isn't a personal attack, but an opportunity for growth. It transforms feedback from a potential threat to a tool for improvement. Humility teaches us that we are not infallible. It reminds us that everyone, regardless of their experience or expertise, can learn something new. And that's the beauty of it. It fosters a continuous learning mindset, keeping the flame of curiosity alive. But how do we cultivate this openness to feedback? It starts by acknowledging that we don't have all the answers. The world is vast, and knowledge is limitless. Recognize the value that others bring to the table, the unique experiences and perspectives that can shed new light on your understanding. Next, practice active listening. When receiving feedback, focus on understanding the speaker's perspective rather than formulating a response. This not only shows respect for the person giving feedback, but also allows you to fully absorb and process the information. Finally, express gratitude for the feedback. This might seem counterintuitive, especially if the feedback is critical. However, thanking someone for their input demonstrates your appreciation for their effort to help you grow. It also encourages a culture of open communication where individuals feel comfortable sharing their thoughts and ideas. Remember, nobody is perfect. We all have room for improvement. Embracing humility and being open to feedback is not about diminishing your worth, but about acknowledging your potential for growth and development. Welcoming feedback with humility is a powerful catalyst for growth. So the next time you receive feedback, take a deep breath, listen, learn, and grow. Allow humility to be your guide on this continuous journey of self-improvement. Humility is a cornerstone of effective leadership. It's a statement that rings true when we delve into the concept of servant leadership. This isn't your traditional top-down leadership model, but rather, it's a perspective that turns the hierarchy upside down. The leader in this case is a servant first, making the conscious decision to put the needs of the team before their own. Humility plays an integral role in this leadership style. It's the gentle force that propels a leader to step back, allowing the team to step forward. It's the quiet voice that whispers, "It's not about you, but about the team and the mission." Imagine a leader who listens more than they speak, values feedback, and is open to new ideas regardless of where they come from. Picture a leader who acknowledges their mistakes, learns from them, and uses them as teaching moments for the team. That's a servant leader. Now you may wonder, does this type of leadership actually work? To answer that, let's look at some examples of well-known leaders who exemplify servant leadership through humility. Consider the legacy of Mahatma Gandhi, a man known for his humility and commitment to serving others. Gandhi once said, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." He led by example, inspiring millions to follow his path of non-violence and selflessness. Or take Nelson Mandela, who despite 27 years in prison emerged with a forgiving heart, leading his nation towards reconciliation. His humility and servant leadership were instrumental in healing a divided South Africa. Then there's Mother Teresa, who dedicated her life to serving the poorest of the poor. She once said, "If you want to change the world, go home and love your family." Her humility and selfless service continue to inspire millions around the world. These leaders, and many others like them, understood that, in leadership, humility allows us to serve others, and lead by example. They knew that to lead is to serve, and to serve well, one must lead with humility. Humility fosters a collaborative and inclusive team culture. An intriguing concept, isn't it? One might ask, how does humility play into team dynamics? Well, let's delve into that. A humble leader is like a maestro conducting an orchestra. They don't play every instrument, rather, they bring out the best in each musician. They encourage input, valuing the diverse perspectives that each team member brings to the table. They understand that everyone has something unique to contribute, and they foster an environment where these contributions are recognized and appreciated. This plays out in many ways. Maybe it's creating a safe space where team members feel comfortable sharing their ideas, even if they're unconventional. Or perhaps it's about ensuring every voice is heard during decision-making. By doing so, a humble leader not only promotes collaboration but also inclusivity, ensuring that everyone feels valued and part of the team's successes. Let's look at some success stories to illustrate this. Think about the tech giant, Google. Their culture is built on collaboration and open dialogue. They believe that the best ideas can come from anywhere, and they've created an environment where everyone's input is valued. This humility-driven culture has contributed to their phenomenal success, with their team consistently pushing the boundaries of innovation. Or consider the case of the prominent coffee chain, Starbucks. Howard Schultz, their former CEO, is known for his humble approach to leadership. He understood the importance of each team member, from the baristas to the board members, in making Starbucks a global success. He fostered a culture where everyone's contributions were valued, leading to a highly engaged and committed team. So we see that humility isn't about downplaying one's abilities or achievements. It's about recognizing and appreciating the value that each individual brings to the team. It's about creating an environment where collaboration and inclusivity thrive. And when this happens, success isn't far behind. In a team setting, humility cultivates collaboration, inclusivity, and success. So the next time you're leading a team, remember the power of humility. You might be surprised at the dividends it pays. As we wrap up, let's revisit the power of humility. This simple yet profound virtue can shape our lives and the world in remarkable ways. Humility begins with self-awareness, with recognizing our strengths and acknowledging our weaknesses. It's about being honest with ourselves, and in doing so we pave the way for genuine self-improvement. Humility fosters authentic relationships. It allows us to connect with others on a deeper level, to empathize, to listen, and to learn. It's about recognizing that we are all human, all flawed, all on our own unique journeys, and it's in these genuine connections that we find personal fulfillment and professional success. Humility teaches us to learn from our mistakes. It allows us to see failure not as a dead end, but as a stepping stone towards growth and development. It's about embracing a growth mindset, remaining open to new experiences, and continuously striving to better ourselves. Humility encourages us to welcome feedback. It enables us to see constructive criticism not as an attack, but as an opportunity to grow. It's about being open to new perspectives, willing to adapt, and committed to lifelong learning. Humility is a cornerstone of servant leadership. It's about leading by example, putting the needs of others before our own, and fostering an environment of respect and collaboration. Humble leaders inspire, motivate, and drive their teams towards success. Humility fosters a collaborative and inclusive team culture. It encourages diversity of thought, values everyone's input, and creates a sense of belonging and unity. Humble leaders know the importance of each team member's contribution and create an atmosphere where everyone feels valued. And finally, humility is something we can all cultivate. Through self-reflection, personal growth, and daily practice, we can develop a humble mindset. We can learn from the examples of humble leaders, from their successes, their failures, and their unwavering commitment to humility. Now we invite you to share your experiences with humility and how it has positively impacted your lives. Remember, humility is not a sign of weakness, but a strength that fosters growth, builds authentic relationships, and guides successful leadership.